Who wants to go first?
So
I'll go first.
All right.
Wow, that's fast.
Okay, so if you think you're having a bad day, there is a town in my home state of Wisconsin that is having a terrible day.
Cheese crisis?
Yeah, you would think, but it does have
Similar.
to do with dairy.
I'm not
So
surprised.
the article title says Wisconsin historic canal filled with butter after dairy plant catches fire. So
Wow.
obviously this is bad
I don't
news.
know.
So this factory obviously is doing dairy stuff. Has a room full of butter, and this said room somehow caught fire. This article still doesn't know how it started, but it did, and melted all the butter in the room. And so as the fire department gets there, they are trying to wade through like shin deep of butter to get to the room
Wow.
that the fire started from. But this is not the worst part of the story, hinted from the title.
Yeah.
All of this butter emptied into the Portage Canal. So Portage, Wisconsin, is all this butter is now going into this little river canal thing, which begs the question: when you fish and you get said fish, all you have to do is throw it on the grill. You're ready to go.
Buttered. It's already buttered.
It's already buttered and ready to go.
That's
Yes.
exactly why you wanted to tell the story, was so you could do that joke. Right?
Well, and then if you're in Portage, Wisconsin, you just go to ladle your butter out of
That's
the
disgusting.
river.
That's really disgusting.
And
Does
Butter
butter
bar.
float on water or does it sink?
Congeal?
I'm sure it congealed a little bit. I mean, it's cold out. So
Well, think about what happens when you put
It's
butter in a pan
returning.
and then you let it sit there after you're done cooking, and it like
Wait, what did you just tell me?
Turns to a
Put
film.
butter in my hand after
put butter
I
in your
cooked it?
pan
Oh.
when you're cooking, and then after you take it off the heat, it just kind of like thickens up.
That's true.
What I'm curious about is the firefighters wading through the butter. I mean,
Yeah.
like butter warms up and turns into a
I know,
liquid
it's
pretty
hot.
fast.
You know,
so
it's-
like,
Melty butter.
you know, could they also not have thought about maybe solving the problem by just throwing a bunch of popcorn in it?
that would
would've
cause
been
a totally different problem. But then the whole town would smell like popcorn,
And
which
the
is a
problem
benefit
is-
and a,
There's no problem there.
nice.
there's no problem there.
And then
no
they could bring
problem
in a
there.
helicopter with like some cheese dust and just cheese
my
dust the
gosh.
canal.
Oh man.
It's like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
It
but in
really
real
is.
life.
They
This
really
whole
missed
story
their
is-
I love
opportunity
butter.
here.
I love butter. I do too.
It's a good story.
So
Yeah.
I've got to start paying attention to Alan more, because you guys know about the animated video that came out of us, and there's like the stuff that Alan says in the background that I'm like, I've never even heard him
No
say
one
it.
ever pays attention.
And that was
to
one of
that.
those that he just is like, I
Caitlin,
like
thank
butter.
you. She heard me. I felt heard.
Yep.
You were seen and heard.
Yes.
Well, that is the story of the butter in the canal.
Nice. I liked
Love
it.
it.
Very nice story.
You know how you see something happen and you're like, what's going on over there? And then you just wonder, could you imagine what the residents of this town thought whenever they finally figured out?
I mean, Wisconsin sees a lot of dairy, so they're like, "Oh, it's happening again," or, you know,
Not again.
yeah.
Yeah.